All right, everybody, welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number 5. I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve. You can't spell that with a Roman numeral 5.
Yes. And who are we brought to you today by?
Allergies. I want to scoop my eyes out.
Not yet. Well, you don't need eyes for podcasts, so go for it.
Okay.
Would you rather be blind or deaf? It's like, I mean, I'm not going to do it to you now.
Yeah, like, oh goodness. Like, do I need to remain in my current lines of work?
No.
Oh, because blindness would definitely make it difficult to print stuff worth a damn and or drive. Mm-hmm. But to be deaf certainly makes listening to this very thing and things essentially similar to it real damn difficult.
I always thought I would rather be deaf, but hearing nothing but silence forever would be really creepy. So I'm just going to try to avoid both scenarios altogether.
Just tread it all out. Just don't smell.
What do they call it when you can't smell?
I don't knows.
Wah, wah. We are both drinking an Aviator Brewing Company from...
Fuquay Verena.
Yeah, same to you. We're drinking a Mezzanotte, which is a porter brewed with coffee and vanilla, 5.4%. It's a cappuccino tiramisu flavors, right above the Mezzanotte. It is groovy.
Durish.
Very. Aviator, I've never been to. That's up in Emily's parents' neck of the woods in Fuquay, Durham, Raleigh, Caryville.
With the aviation type theme, they do have a tap room separate of the brewery, built in an old train station.
That's neat.
Johnny Candy's ghost shall be very confused.
Well, let's see. I haven't been to that one. I've only been to where did we go? We went to a couple up there, but I haven't experienced the Raleigh brew scene as much as I would like.
It's certainly a lot stronger now than it was when I lived there, 02 to 05. Have you been to Fortnite?
No,
Go.
That's in Cary.
Yes.
Right? I haven't been to Fortnite.
Okay.
Their beers are good.
Yes.
I can't remember. Was it a coffee porter? Something? Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
Okay.
And I like their ESB, and I just like everything I've had there.
How come ESB? I mean, I know it stands for extra special bitter toy boat. They're not bitter to me though. Is it just the name?
Yeah.
Like when you call it Fat Guy Slim.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess in comparison to a lager, it would be, but it's a kind of gentler side of bitter, so it's extra special instead of face puckering disgusting.
So we're getting into spring, like Steve's eyes have been crying about, and you know what? It's my least favorite season for beers. Actually, it's very we dig the IPAs, but a lot of pales. A lot of wheat beer, and I have to be in the mood for wheat beer. I feel like when I drink, I don't know if you're the same way, but when I drink a lot of wheat beer, I feel like I get it sits heavier in my stomach even than a porter does. Do you get that feeling?
Like you ate a lot of bread?
Yeah, kind of.
Like other wheat products?
Yeah, something like that. All right, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. But there'll be a lot of IPAs, and IPLs are a thing now, and they have a really good one at Three Spirits. Shout out to Taboo at Three Spirits, the only brother I know that owns a brewery. Not many of those. Really good India Pale Lager, and I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was really, really dezanktastic. I don't know of any other Charlotte breweries that do an IPL off the top of my head.
That's me neither. But that would stand for India Pale Lager instead of India Pale Ale, so then it would be bottom fermented instead of top fermented.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay, cool. See, it's not only a silly podcast, but you'll actually learn something.
Let's
probably
get carried away.
No, it's my least favorite because they're all low. I like higher gravity, thicker, darker, heavier stuff. So we're going into the light, crisp. Sit outside, but I will give you this: it's better to drink one of those on a 90-degree day than it is to pop out your 10% Russian Imperial Stout, because then you'll start sweating bullets. But then we also NoDa released the Girl Scout cookie beers, and did you get any of them before they ran out?
Negative.
We need to remedy this.
It's not been a good time for me to go do anything since the move's almost over. So then I can have 2 years of unpacking.
Well, you could. Well, when I moved in one of my apartments, there were a couple of boxes I didn't even open when I lived by myself because I was like, I'm not even. I had like one dish, one plate, one.
Yesterday, I'm pretty sure half the carload was varying degrees of booze. Just lots of beers that have been tucked away, lots of wine, lots of liquor, lots of clanks over the railroad tracks. And given that the car doesn't smell like a distillery, I'm assuming everything survived.
Well, let's hope so. It's going to be hard to talk your way out of a ticket or a search if your car smells like a gigantic distillery.
It's 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. Yeah, go ahead and make me walk the line, officer.
NoDa had they released 4 Girl Scout cookies. It was a lemon shortbread Kolsch for the Savannah Smiles, I believe is the cookie name.
That sounds right.
And then tagging along brown with peanut butter brown ale, really, really good. Then they had the thin mint one, which I skipped. And
after whatever it was we had the other night, that was the freebie, and it was just vile.
Yeah, I don't remember what
the Listerine beer.
Yes, that's my favorite Bush song. The other one was
the Samoa.
Yeah, it was a coconut blonde. I thought it was going to be a dark beer, but it was a coconut blonde. And well, let's just say that the person I'm married to, Mikey, likes it. She said it was her favorite one.
All right.
Mm-hmm. She thought the peanut butter one tasted too coffee-y, which she says about every dark beer, even though it had no coffee in it. But we're not going to delve into that.
Stouts were my gateway drug into coffee.
I think coffee was my gateway. No. I drank both of them. I didn't know where I was going with that. But no, not looking forward to the spring beers. But what's around the corner is Anderson Valley's Summer Solstice, which is my number 1 favorite beer ever. But we got to make it out to there. Maybe I'll just take that small road trip from San Diego to there, which I think probably takes about 6 hours one way. So I need to. You
better put a trailer hitch in that rental because you're going to be hauling ass to make it from San Diego to San Fran that quickly.
I have no concept of time.
500 miles. So more like 8 or 10.
Well, I was going to listen to the Proclaimers when I did it. Somebody made the mileage chart of how long they walked. And actually, you know what? They played at Glastonbury. I think that's the name of the venue.
Festival.
Yeah, and they sounded and looked exactly the same. And that song's easy to play. Toby and I are going to debut that one pretty soon.
Like a bunch of Buddy Hollies?
Yep, and not your Mary Tyler Moore.
Ooh.
And speaking of music, so kind of wanted to get into the evolution of rock and metal. This was delved into a little bit on the Lost episode. It's funny how you listen to Sabbath and even the Beatles to a point, and then Zeppelin, and you listen to that now, and it's very tame and very light sounding. But at the time, it was just so different, and people were, it was dark, it was heavy, and it was just, and now you have like Cookie Monster vocal, screamy, drop G tuned guitars, and it's just mud and nonsense. And I would love to take a song from now in extreme brutal death metal and go back to the 50s and play it. They would put you in jail.
That'd be the most amazing mashup of Back to the Future ever at the end of the movie. I don't think you guys are ready for this yet, but your kids are going to love it.
Especially if your kids like cutting themselves and having a shitty haircut. Do you remember the emo haircuts from the 2000s? Where they had like it would spike out the top on this side and be slick to their face on this side.
The flock of seagulls? Wasn't that earlier?
No, it's way worse than that. I'm going to pull it up on the old cellular device that is newly cracked.
Audio podcast, folks.
I dropped it a lot, and of course, everybody who knows me knows this phone's shit.
You better bolt from that phone, Baba Booey, because that's your second one, and it previously been working, yes,
beautifully,
unlike its predecessor.
Beautifully, yes. Actually, it is the same phone; it's just a different screen. But now my OK Google doesn't work, so let's see, emo haircuts.
Okay, Alexa. Okay, Siri.
Hey, okay, wiretap in my house that can listen to everything I fucking do. I understand the appeal of it, but I like Bill Burr's. Bill Burr's rant about everything is great, but especially that. Here we go. I mean, it's all girls, but you get the idea. And in fact, it all looks like the same girl, to be honest. But you remember those hairstyles, right? No. It's pretty big.
It looks like the Rachel in a bunch of different colors.
Who was it that had the Iggy Pop had the Rachel haircut when he cut his hair? You see the picture Chris Anthony posted of Iggy Pop, and it had something about the Anthony Kiedis. It was like a mashup of Iggy Pop and Anthony Kiedis.
Red Hot Stooge Peppers.
The Chili Stooges. But it's funny to see the evolution, because you got, Elvis the 50s, you're that influence, and then you go to 60s.
Yeah, blues rock.
Yeah, it's very blues rock, and then 60s was hippie stoner genre, and then 70s was super disco, and then the day disco died. Do you remember seeing the documentary about that?
No, was that the baseball game when they were burning the records?
Yeah, and it got out of hand.
Which is funny, like that's only when it died in the U.S. Similar styles prevailed points elsewhere.
Yes, and Kiss put out a disco album. Ugh. How do you make shit even more shit? Steve's twitching. So, and then you go 80s, you got glam and hair metal, which way more about the vision than it is the music. Although there were some really talented groups, but for the most part, it was just very cheesy. And then you got your grunge from the 90s.
Steel Panther is my favorite 80s glam band.
I need to go see Steel Panther. Troy said it's just like one of the best shows. Every time I go to get a tattoo, we listen to Steel Panther. What was the name of the Unknown Henson? Mm-hmm. The rockabilly. What was it called? Psychobilly rockabilly something. It's great.
It was Reverend Horton Heat that had Psychobilly Freak out, because I remember that from the Guitar Cock Rock Hero games, and that was just bonkers and a half.
And we listened to the Bastard Fairies. Do you know who that is?
Negative.
It's a I only know one song, and I don't even remember what the name of it is, but it was "All You Catholics Wearing Condoms, You Are Going to Hell." It's a guy and a girl. I think they're married, but it's just a little duet. And I'm gonna go ahead and look them up too. I mean, why not? We do have the technology. The Bastard Fairies musical group. The Bastard Fairies is an American musical group from L.A. formed in 2005, becoming at one point the number 18 most subscribed musicians on YouTube. That's interesting. We Are All Going to Hell, 2006. So let me see if I can pull the lyrics to this.
We'll leave the light on for you.
Thanks, Tom Bodette. Is he still on Wait Wait?
I reckon. I've fallen behind my radio pod broadcasting.
All you Mormons who like cussing, you are going to hell. All you preachers who like fucking, you are going to hell. Little boys that choke the chicken, you are going to hell. It's the nature of evolution. The dinosaurs went to hell. Hell, hell, hell. It's a wonderful place. It's a place of fire and brimstone. All you Christian politicians, you're going to hell. Magic Jesus apparitions sending you to hell. Buddhist monks without a god. It's really not bubblegummy, but it's very light like that, and it's funny to listen to the all us fatties eating bonbons. We are going to hell. Unbaptized babies learn to limbo. Purgatory is hell. That's great. I'll show you what they look like. Let's see, Bastard Fairies. I'm pretty sure it's just a guy and a girl, or it might just be a girl.
Goodness.
Yep. Hello, nurse. Okay. All right. We're going to get off on a tangent here. But no, it makes me wonder what's next. We went from grunge in the 90s, and then in 2000s was just your...
new metal. Ugh.
True. Well, let's talk about that, because I think I don't think Korn is new metal. I think Korn's just a hard rock band.
Certainly would have been influential on lesser bands, though. Never mind, I never was a Korn fan.
Well, what's funny is you like the food and I like the band, but you don't like the band and I don't like the food. But I just feel like they're a hard rock.
I see what you did there, Kay.
This is a hard rock band to me. When I think new metal, I think of like really horrible, like Coal Chamber is new metal. Are you familiar with much of their...
No, but you think new metal is going to be like the Limp Bizkit area, that is just everything's screamier, louder, and could easily be by the time I was 19, I was simply too old to listen to that.
You're just not angry enough, man. We grew up in white suburbia.
I just hide all my feelings, so it makes it easier.
Well, you have... but you have really good feelings now, except for work.
Yeah. My only feeling is sleepy.
Because Steve's in love.
2 years yesterday, y'all.
Oh, happy anniversary, sir.
Oh, thank you.
So you guys, it's hard to believe it's been 2 years already. But time flies when you're having fun. And it's definitely an upgrade.
Yeah, so all you gentlemen out there, apparently a pig picking at a brewery is a really good route to go on a first date.
Mm-hmm. Which pig did you pick?
The free range one.
Cool. I really, I've only been there once, and I think it was Brendan's friend Brian.
Yeah.
A stocky guy.
Yeah.
I think we were all there. I think you were there.
Yeah, because at the time he was like trying to put us on video chat and I wanted nothing to do with Periscope.
Not even the down Periscope?
With Kelsey, no thanks.
Well, it's my favorite Nelly song too. Kelsey Grammer. Oh, that's country grammar. Sorry. That is a good first date idea.
You're going down.
Emily and I went to Saucer. We met at Saucer and we went to Saucer for our first date. And then I don't remember who gives a shit about the second date? It's always the first date.
Just ask her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. My wife lived with Steve, for those of you who didn't know, for 3 years.
Three's Company. It was not.
It was guy, girl. Pretty much the entire time. You lived with Gray for a little bit.
Yeah, that was prior to that. It was 3 years with Gray, 3 years with him and Beth, or Kat for her first odd year, my sister, and then she moved back to Greensboro since the Charlotte work scene was unpleasant.
You know that feeling, don't you?
It's like, well, at least I've still got said job, but hate it.
Well, I mean, don't we all? I tolerate it.
Paper cuts at 3 a.m. No thanks.
Ugh. I get the cardboard cuts, and that sucks too.
Yeah.
If you hear
it's like a whole bunch of them. AJ's heroin's wearing off, so pay no mind to him.
Yeah, it's all good. I hate needles, but ironically enough, I'm slapping because my brand new inkage is itching like a mofro. So if you hear a random slap now and then, sorry, can't help it. It's itchy, and I can't scratch it.
Well, it's cool. Got another cheek.
So about the music thing. So I talked about him before. There's a guy named Rick Beato, and it looks like Beto, and he looks like Anthony Bourdain. He does the video series called "What Makes This Song Great," and he has the stems. So he has like the bass stems and synth and drums and vocals. He has all the synths. He has all the stems for the track, and he goes through the song from start to finish, and he explains what makes the parts great, goes through the harmonies and such, and the musicality. Well, he got blocked again, 53 views in, and YouTube blocked him. And this is going to hit home for you because you're such a big Hami fan.
The whole page, or just
the video got blocked? The video got blocked. It was "What Makes This Song Great," Queens of the Stone Age, no one knows. And he's not making money off of their music. He's not of their likeness. He's not making any money. He's not claiming it as his own. It's a fair use thing. And after he put the video up, he went on a live stream and was ranting about it because this is like the 4th time he's been blocked. He got blocked by Fleetwood Mac. He got blocked
Damn
by
utter Stevie.
he got blocked by Fleetwood Mac, and now he's been blocked by Queens of the. He's been blocked a couple of times, and he was explaining. He's like, I'm trying to. He's like, this is what's killing modern music. He said, I'm trying to explain what makes these songs great. And if a kid, kids will listen and they'll, okay, that's cool. We're explaining what makes a song great and the time and such like that. He's like, and I can't even explain why a song is great, but.
Is he playing any of it?
He's playing he's not playing it all together. He's playing the stems of them. So just like the vocal, like he did Go Your Own Way from Fleetwood Mac, and I actually found the video because there's an archive of all of them. But YouTube won't let you have them on there because it's Warner Brothers Records sent the cease, and which I've gotten one too. I got one from Warner Brothers for when Toby and I covered Barely Breathing from Duncan Sheik. It'd been up for 2 years, and I got your video has been flagged by Warner Brothers Records, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think Duncan Sheik gives a flying fuck that we're playing it. You're not making money off of. I mean, I do understand it, but he's not playing the song and claiming he's breaking it down, and he always stops it and explains this. Listen to this part. Listen to this part, and I really don't understand why YouTube is doing that. Do you have any insight? I mean,
YouTube is the vehicle for content creators to, express themselves, but any hint of anything that could be litigious, if YouTube themselves are not doing it, any of the copyright holders, such as your Time Tantrum, Warner Brothers, whatever have you, will happily jump the gun to kick your ass off if you've got anything resembling what they've done.
He was explaining, he's like, how much money could the bands possibly get off? He said, even if it's 0.005 to the dollar, to the cent, even. I mean, he's like, how much money do they need? Like he said, rumor, when Fleetwood Mac got taken down, he said they're only one of 5 bands to go double diamond on an album, which is 20 million records. Diamond's 10 million, double diamond's 20 million.
Rumor has it.
Yeah, and he says, how much more money could they possibly want? I mean, for the record company to send because the Soundgarden video didn't get blocked because he thinks it's more the band than it is the record company. But I'm inclined to believe it's a little bit of both. I'm sure the band has some say in that. Yeah, because he's done,
and different bands do it different ways that some could be quite flattered that their covers are out there. Others want no part of it, no allowance thereof, and it could easily be a case-by-case basis. But the general rule of thumb is, hey, don't do that, because the least that happens is your video gets taken down.
Yeah, it's just he went through. He's done Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam. He's done Nirvana. He did Foo Fighters, Steely Dan, The Police. What was the other? But he's Tool and Perfect Circle, and nobody's got the pitchforks out and had them take those videos down. It's just funny how some artists you get the videos taken down. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I kind of understand it, but at the same time, he's not making money off of any of those videos, so that to me would be more criminal. It'd be, I mean. It's not like he's stealing. These are stems that he has access to.
The idea is basically promoting said art. So if you wish not to have free advertising, tough.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of killing.
We'll go sing the praises of another song.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what I made a comment on the live stream, and I said, if somebody were to be like, hey, can we deconstruct your song? We really like your album. We want to have a video about it. I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, do it. Great. Like, here, I'll give you all the stems. I mean, I'll give it to you in a heartbeat. Of course, I'm a pissant in the world of music, but I would still be flattered. But, of course, I'm not a double diamond, outfit. So,
ladies and gentlemen, we are Digital Collision.
That wouldn't be a bad name either. Even though I got the go-ahead for Analog Crash, the guy was like, yeah, no, it's cool, man. I don't even play anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. That actually worked out. He got back to me 9 months later. Better late than pregnant. For reals. But you do, go check out Rick Beato's page. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff on there. His son has perfect pitch, so he can play anything on the piano, and he'll go, A flat over G, and then like C sus2 diminished C. I mean, it doesn't matter what note it is, and then he can play two different notes, and then the kid can tell what the two notes are by listening to them together.
Oh, I thought you meant he's a hell of a baseball player.
That too. I'm sure he's got a hell of an arm. So we've already went through a lot of the shit I wanted to talk about on this list. Oh no, we're going to have to talk about different shit.
What?
Yes. So Steve, what's more uncool to you? An SUV or a minivan?
The minivan always gets the brunt of that because you can't go off-roading in a minivan, at least not easily.
I was going to say.
There's just, you can't easily drop the top on a minivan.
And only some SUVs.
Not without a Sawzall. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, sure. No, otherwise, if you want to make your sliding door fall off, all right, go ahead and cut the roof off, see what happens.
After watching DeMuro's video on the Odyssey van from Homer, I'm inclined to say...
He said Honda awful funny.
I'm inclined to say that an SUV is more uncool. And I have an SUV, but it's not really. I mean, it is...
You have an automotive unibody that was one of the first of the thing to be such from 1984 that, pioneered what a lot of them have become now without any of the capability, the functionality, the ease of use and repair that yours has.
Or character. By the way, do you know what's coming to the U.S. later this year? It's a damn good-looking car by a car company that I dare say is leading the way in design, at least in the last couple of years, from Japan.
Sure ain't Toyota.
Nope. Mazda is bringing a diesel CX-5.
Ooh.
That's intriguing. Because of the CX-5 in the red color, what is it? It's fire... pretty ass red. I don't remember what the color's name is, but it's pretty.
I don't believe that colors need to have additional names. Is it red? Neat. Is it dark red? Neat. Is it bright red? Neat.
Is it light red?
It's pink.
Is pink your favorite color?
It's not even my favorite Aerosmith song.
That better not be in the top 100 Aerosmith songs. That is a... All right, so our old manager, whose first name is Watkins... No, his first name is... Okay.
Glenn. He is Glenn Watkins, like the race car track, only backwards.
His full name, and you're going to have a drop jaw effect. His full name is Homer Watkins Tyndall Jr. That's a hell... But he just goes by Watkins, and he has a mullet. Damn good guy, though. Very country guy, but he has a mullet.
He's still a moonshine runner, isn't he?
I hope so. But he gave us, he couldn't go, so he gave Toby and I tickets to Motley Crue and Aerosmith. And the Crue opened for, and this was the second time we saw Crue. And they played about an hour, and then Aerosmith came on. And it's okay. I mean, it's okay. So we were like, you know what, we're going to leave if they play Pink. Third song, Pink. Let's go to the bar. So we went to Saucer after. I mean, the tickets were free. We didn't feel like we missed out on anything, but they played Pink, the third song.
I bought 9 Lives, the album that was on release day, and really didn't like much of that CD.
You should have bought Friskies.
No, the cat ate Purina one.
Oh.
But basically imagine an eviler Zara. That's what Silver was.
Jeez. Okay. Well, Zara loves us, but... It's definitely not as friendly as the other two.
And Zara doesn't go running out the door every time possible.
No, I assumed that one did.
That quickly became an outdoor cat. She'd only come in to eat. So then we never had to change the litter box again.
That's actually not a terrible idea. What year did 9 Lives come out, if you remember?
97-8.
Shit, it was that long ago?
It was during my high school days. It was, I think, the one after Get a Grip was the big one from 92. Big Ones was their 87 to 92 compilation album with basically the best of.
Yeah.
That I loved that CD.
When was Pump?
87 or 89?
I wanted to say 89. 'Cause that one had Janie's Got a Gun, and what was the one that had Alicia Silverstone in the video dancing?
No, that was the 92 one.
That was 92.
Get a Grip.
That's right. Because they had the gun on the front, right?
No, that one had the cow udder that was pierced.
Shit, which one had the gun on it? Or was that another band? I don't remember.
Maybe it was one of the singles.
Son of a bitch. All right.
I think out of all that, the 87 was Rocks, I think, with a big gemstone on it. 89 was Pump, and 92 was Get a Grip with the pierced cow udder. And then Big Ones, that was basically the best of those, had a sumo wrestler on it.
Let's see. Yep. Toys in the Attic, 75. Rock, 76. Get a Grip, 93. Did you say 93? Or you said 92?
92. Okay, so for Rocks, I was way off. But there was another one, because I think it was, 87, 89, and 93, not 2, for what made up a lot of the big hits on classic rock radio in my middle and high school days, which is funny that looking back that some of those songs were 5, 10 years old, but from a band that's been kicking it since the mid-70s. And for the longest time, I had no idea that Dream On was Aerosmith, because I could have lost the bet that was Queen.
Yeah, it didn't. That's the only song of theirs that you listen to, and it sounds nothing like Steven Tyler until the screaming, and then it sounds like him. But I guess he just decided to sing that song differently, because every other song he's, yep, that's Steven Tyler. Yep, that's him. And then Dream On sounds nothing like Steven Tyler. He looks like a really, really old gypsy woman now. Have you seen him recently? It's weird.
No, but knowing what I know that he looks like, just imagine a grayer Janice from the Muppets. And about a week ago in South Park Land, saw the same thing in reality. That was this mere stick of a woman, but real bad plastic surgery. Something between Janice from the Muppets and the original 1968 Planet of the Apes.
Yee.
Or see also the front end of the new Toyota CHR.
Or that and the Predator front of the Forerunners and the tacos.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, just big gaping Joker smile that those have, because that's untenable as well. At least on the other end of the Toyota automotive spectrum, the new, let's just say Matrix, because Corolla hatchback's less entertaining, doesn't appear to suck.
It's a nice looking car.
Yeah.
If Esteban were in the market for a brand new,
this kind of answers what I'll be driving in 2030.
if there's even gas still left, that's semi-affordable. Let's see. Aerosmith, self-titled, 73. Get Your Wings, 74. Toys in the Attic, 75. Rocks, 76. Draw the Line, 77. Wow, okay. They fired him out there. Night in the Ruts, 79. Rock in a Hard Place, 1982. Done with Mirrors, 1985. Permanent Vacation, 87. Pump, 89. Get a Grip, 93. 9 Lives, 97. Just Push Play was 2001. Honkin' on Bobo, 2004.
Pardon?
Honkin' on Bobo.
And he was never allowed in the zoo again.
I have and then Music from Another Dimension, ! 2012. I'm clicking on Honkin' on Bobo.
Definitely couldn't remember the title of Retirement.
Well, that's the album cover. It's a harmonica. So I'm hoping the harmonica is named Bobo. because it's just going to be really weird if it's not. Oh, it includes 11 covers of blues songs.
The Blues Traveler awful funny.
Listening to Aerosmith cover Runaround would probably be the most awesome, terrible thing I ever heard, and now I need it in my life. Who would play that? No, Steven Tyler plays the harmonica. So I don't know if he plays as many harmonicas as John fucking Popper does. He's got like the arsenal of... he's got the vest that has all of them, and they're in different keys. It's crazy. Like, let's see.
So which is it, a bandolier or a keychain of harmonicas?
Let's see if you recognize any of the songs on like the blues. I'm not much of a blues unless it's Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm really unfamiliar with blues. I mean, I know Bonamassa is a great guitar player, and the John Mayer Trio, he's a great blues guitar player too. But I don't know any of this.
John Mayer Pop, forget it. But John Mayer Trio, his blues redeems him.
The theory is he uses his pop career to finance what he really wants to do, and that's go be a... I like blues. But I feel like I don't know if I could be a... You have to be like all in on blues. You can't just say I'm going to play a blues track. You have to like be all about blues. That makes sense. Like guys who play blues only... Mayer's kind of the exception, but most of the time, guys that play blues only play blues. That's all they do, and they don't deviate.
And up until they're 90.
Yep, and then like they're here one day, and then they keel over. Who was it? B.B. King died not last year. He died a couple of years ago, I think. But he was playing up until
somewhere north of 88.
Yeah, he was playing up until the end, and I mean he had gained considerable amount of weight, and I think he was diabetic too. But he would sit there, and he would just sit there and. The rest of them didn't work that well, but that voice and those fingers still end up going. All right, Roadrunner from Bo Diddley. Shame, Shame, Shame from Smiley Lewis. I don't think that's the same.
More of the Motown song.
That's what I was...
It's probably going to be very different.
Never Loved a Girl from Aretha Franklin. Back Train. Yep, I don't know any of these songs. Eyesight to the Blind from Sonny Boy Williamson. I don't know any of these. That shows how much blues we know.
Not much, you.
Honking on Bobo.
Time on my hands, that could be time spent with you. I guess that's why they call it the blues.
I like Elton John a lot. There's just time, like there's not any modern artists that are going to have like these timeless, like when you listen to it in 50 years, go, just it brings your nostalgia back. Well, I can't think of any band that came out in the last 5 years there's going to be these epic like record like re-releases go, oh, remember when this came out? And I can't think of anything.
It's going to be Ty Segall when he releases his 5,000th CD.
Ty Segall?
Dude is 30 years old and has probably 25 albums out already.
Wow. Who's he, Prince?
I'd rather listen to Ty Segall, actually.
Yeah, you're not a big...
I'm not a Prince head.
All right, I'm a Prince head.
The Prince of Bowie died, yay close apart. Just much bigger Bowie head. Even had the coloring book.
Except for the Dancing in the Street video. There's no defending that one with Mick Jagger.
No, but is there really any defending the Rolling Stones after about 1973?
No. There really isn't. I do not see.
And that's how the Beatles won.
Yeah.
They quit before they could completely decline.
You have to quit long enough, or you're in it long enough to, what was the Batman quote? Live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yes.
Yeah, just quit while you're... Because they didn't play that. The Beatles were only a band. It was not a long time.
They started in the 50s, but I think their first record, or at least of any note, was from 62. Mm-hmm. And they called it Quits in 70.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that long. And then...
Although I wonder, had they remained together, could we have spared the world from simply having a wonderful Christmas time?
That is the worst.
Definition of me envying the deaf.
That is the worst. That's one of the worst Christmas songs. I mean, they're all horrible. There's only 4 Christmas songs.
But that one's terrible. Terrible-est.
Every time, now at work, the day after Thanksgiving, the Christmas songs start, and every time I hear, I want to go on a massive, massive killing spree. No survivors, men, women, children, every fucking body. I would rather listen to my own firing squad than listen to that song.
Did you ever watch You Can't Do That on Television?
Not as much as I wish I did.
But you know where I'm going with this, with the firing squad that would keep messing up and shooting the executor.
Yes. That was
trick him into saying fire, then they shoot him instead of the kid.
Was that was 90s or
86? It was
86?
mid 80s. That was probably the first time the world ever heard of Alanis Morissette, actually. That she was one of the actresses on there because it was Canadian television.
That's right, it was. Kids in the Hall was Canadian too, right?
Yes and no. I think that might have been a joint effort.
That was, from what I remember of it, considerably darker than Mad TV and SNL.
Yeah.
I remember waking up at like 3 a.m. and my mom, who never slept hardly any, she was up watching. I was like, "What are you watching?" She says, "I don't know what this is. It's called Kids in the Hall." Now I'm like 6. Now my parents let me watch Interview with the Vampire and the movie Silver Bullet when I was way too young to watch it.
Did that involve werewolves?
Yes, that was Stephen King, and it's still.
Either was like it was a Coors Run. No, that was Smokey and the Bandit. Never mind.
It's still to this day. Silver Bullet's very creepy. Like when he turns back into the human, and I don't know. It's just it's not as cheesy horror movie as even later flicks, but when I watched, I was like, "What the hell?" Or I didn't say "What the hell." I was like 6. What do you watch? Kids in the Hall, and there was like this skit where Fat Elvis is sitting there and like he's trying to change the channel on the TV, and he keeps shooting the TV to change the channel. Hey, this show ain't no good.
I could have sworn I saw a Universal remote emulating that. It was something in the shape of a gun with a keypad built into the back of it. So with its powers combined, it looked like basically a pistol that could have a lockout on it.
That's brilliant. I wonder does Colin's mom have a gun? Because that would be really awesome.
I don't know. 2, I saw her 2 days ago.
Oh, that's right. You did, because you guys went up.
Yeah, we met up for April Fool's Day. Lunch was awesome.
Yes. Every time somebody told me Happy Easter, I wanted to go, April Fools. But you know what, though?
I love those. I love that island with the creepy statues off the coast of Chile?
Yeah. Every time I see any statue formation, I just think about Spinal Tap. The tiny little Stonehenge. But you know what? Like, for those of you who don't know, Steve and I are very not religious, but we're also very friendly. So all day people told me Happy Easter. And do you know what I told them? You too. Because there's a time and place to debate people. But if somebody's just going out of their way to be polite to you, just be polite back to them. You don't have to engage in theological debate.
That's why I said Happy Holidays that day.
Mm-hmm. And then when they say Merry Christmas, you say all holidays matter. Happy Christmas Hanukkah.
Killer Kwanzaa, y'all.
Mm-hmm. That's a movie, isn't it? I think it's a horror movie.
Killer Kwanzaa?
I think so.
I just like the alliteration.
I think something Dead Christmas or something. It was a horror movie that came out like 10 years ago because my ex-girlfriend at the time and I went to go see it. It was a horror movie that came out on Christmas Day, and we watched it on Christmas Day. It was horrible.
These halls are going to take themselves.
That sounded like a Steven Seagal movie.
In a world where Christmas music starts in November, one man had too much.
What Christmas season starts in November now? They start in February, which it is past. Ooh, it's April now, isn't it? Ugh. This year is a third over with. And I've already seen, fuck you, Chris Anthony, again. He'll post something that says only 30-something more Sundays till Christmas. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I do not want to live through it. I do want to live through it, but fast forward through it. Working retail will make you be grumpy, and I do like people, but I also hate people. It's a weird thing.
You got some weird messages from that Slipknot song, didn't you?
That's a good album, by the way. That's a really good album. But I think I'm becoming a sociopath. But I'll be honest, like it's kind of enlightening. It's eye-opening. Taking care of me first. Preston and I had that discussion. He's like, "Is it working out for you?" I said, "It's working out pretty good." He and Carr are in Lost Wages.
Viva.
Beat you to it. I always like that, though.
Don't remember how or why that came to be, but yes, I do like that twisting of the phrase.
I didn't know they were going. I knew he was going away on business because I asked him if he wanted to go to 105 Cigar Company in Matthews and go grab a smoke, but he said he was out of town. That boy travels.
Yep.
He's a frequent flyer. But I told him about that whiskey bar with the cigars, which, did I show you the picture of the...
Yeah,
in Belmont.
The picture, the jailhouse?
Yeah, the jailhouse. Which Jason had told us about. Now, how did Jason and Sean know each other? Cause
I just know they've known each other forever and a day.
Okay. So you and Kirkman syndrome.
Yeah. And I don't know if they went to middle school together.
Or the me and Thomas syndrome, which we didn't go, but we might as well have went to high school together. But no, they're in Vegas, and then he's going to, I wanted to say Colorado, but I could be wrong. I could also be wrong about the pronunciation of Colorado. Could be Colorado.
I like but for Nevada instead of Nevada.
Don't like Nevada? Or do you like Nevada better?
I'm really not stricken with envy either way.
I'll go to Reno.
Yeah, it's not an emergency. Auto style 912 instead.
That show was brilliant.
That was insane and a half. My brother was really big into that one.
How many? Do you remember how many seasons there were? At least 2.
I just guess more like 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Get your ass out of my face. Get your face out of my ass. I said there's really... His name is Tom
Lennon.
Tom Lennon, that was right.
Fun fact, he was on the very first Nerdist podcast episode.
Cool.
He made a theme song for it that thankfully did not take off.
Oh, that bad?
It's goofy to put it kindly.
Intentionally bad, then. Okay. Well, he was the executive producer of At Midnight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Which was funny because he kept losing. Spoiler alert. Good luck finding more of those episodes, guys.
Pretty sure it was on purpose, but I still want a shirt that says points.
Funny. Yeah, it was still funny. Like, he would get upset about it, like 5th loss in.
I don't think he ever won, did it? No, he did win one time because I thought they
dropped hell broke loose.
They dropped confetti. And,
yeah, they had to kill the show.
Marin was on there one time that I remembered. I don't think he gets the love. I understand why he doesn't get the love.
Marin is slowly growing into his newfound fame at 54 that he's been out there doing enough and also trying to be a better guy than he had been. Mm-hmm. Doesn't sound for being real damn funny. I was listening to one of his old stand-ups, and it's fan-bloody-tastic. If you haven't heard these, I'll send them your way. All
right. Was it pre-facial hair? Was it when they had the long hair?
This was one of those, sometime pre-WTF.
Mm-hmm. Because I watched Thinky Pain. Have you seen Thinky Pain?
Yes. I think I've seen or heard all 5 of them now. I haven't seen much of the show, though. I do need to see that. This has been interesting to think. Yes, I'm currently switching houses at the same time he is.
Say goodbye to the Cat Ranch. Not you.
Well, now it makes Cat Ranch 2.0. I already said that 3 years ago.
Nah. Well, now you have a Cat Ranch, although it's only one cat.
Well, it's also a 2-level house.
True. And it's a nice kit. What's the cat? It was Punk.
Yep.
That's a nice
Punk
kit.
and Tabby.
I'd have a house full of... If I had an obscene amount of money, I'd have a house full of guitars, shoes, and cats. That does it. And I have a garage full of cars.
And I think in the meantime...
Space Hog.
You could probably still do one of the 4 of those.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I've gotten rid of 2 guitars.
You haven't made the guitars structural yet.
That'd be hard to bring to a gig. What was off last week? Playing at NoDa on Friday, and back at the Grumpy Monk in Monroe on Saturday. And then we go to the beach on Cinco de Mayo. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Sweet.
Yeah. They're going to pay us pretty good to go down there, so I don't know what to
expect. Is that the one in Sunset Beach or so?
Ocean Isle? Okay. Ocean Isle, I think.
Yeah. The most southeastern corner of the state, south of Wilmington, but before you get to Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm. And it's a Hawaiian-themed brewery at the beach in North Carolina that we're playing at on Cinco de Mayo.
Does it serve pizza?
I hope, but no pineapple.
Hawaiian-style pizza?
On the side. That pineapple on the side. I feel like that's a love it or hate it. Nobody casually likes pineapple on pizza.
Yeah,
you either love it or you hate it.
I'll eat it. It's not something I order, but I just don't care.
If you grilled the pineapple, I would, because if you have not had that, it is so good.
You solved it. Because everything's better grilled.
Yes. Have you? I stumbled upon another YouTube. I'm
what?
Yes, not another YouTube, but another
Vimeo.
Another channel. And it's Good Mythical Morning. Have you seen those guys?
I quit doing that stuff on Sundays.
Oh, I like that. It's 2 guys. They're from North Carolina, but they live in California now. But they do all sorts of stupid shit, and they actually have a daily video podcast, and they do daily. They made a living out of it, and I'm jealous. But
if they call it a vlog, I'm not watching.
They don't call it a vlog. They definitely don't. But they do they do the hottest pepper challenge. They do stupid shit like that. But they also do like fast food hacks. They do blindfold tests. So they do a blindfold. It's like, as you can see, we can't. And it's brilliant every time.
Can you tell Dr. Pepper from Dr. Dazzle? Nobody can.
Or Dr. Smooth, Dr. Enough, Dr. Perky.
Aldi's Dr. Dazzle is a dead fucking ringer.
Really?
For $2.25 a 12er.
It's more fun to say Diet Dr. Dazzle.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't either. I've only been in Aldi once. They do the blindfold challenge with burgers, fast food fried chicken, fast food chicken nuggets, sandwiches, and I'm watching them. And they did the biscuits too. So they did can you tell the difference between?
Did the cat make them?
Ooh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's later. But they got more wrong, and they did French fries too. They got more wrong than I thought they would, because I feel like a blind taste test, I think you could too with nuggets. So they had KFC, Burger King, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, and there was another chain. And
Joke's on you, they did this on Sunday.
They did, but I feel like I could definitely tell the difference, and I feel like you could too, because you're a fellow nugget guy. It's blindfold. I could tell the difference.
To quote the great Mo Rocca from the beloved "I Love the '80s," I've been freebasing McNuggets since '83.
They did that. They did the biscuits, and they both from North Carolina, so they automatically said Bojangles is going to have the best biscuit. We're going to pick Bojangles as being the number one.
Funny.
And they did. They picked Bojangles to be the best biscuit, but I disagree. I think Hardee's has the best biscuits. Go ahead, shoot me, fellow North Carolinians. I'm just not a big Bojangles guy. The restaurant or the Mister. Who sings Mr. Bojangles?
Is that Bob Dylan?
That
was probably initially somebody else's blues tune.
Bob Dylan sounds like Popeye. I'm not a big. I don't understand why Bob Dylan. I don't understand the Rolling Stones.
To be spinach, 'cause it's be spinach. I'm Bob Dylan, the Sailor Man.
It's actually really good. I also
never had one lesson.
I don't get. I have. I don't get the popularity of Neil Young either. I'm not a big Neil Young guy.
He wants him to just kind of listen to the thing. He's going to do the thing and complain about everything.
Jimmy Fallon doing whip my hair back and forth. Whip my hair back and forth.
Gotta whip your hair.
I'm not a big Springsteen fan, but I would like to have a beer with him.
Yeah.
He would be a good hangout. Although that's the second worst Christmas song.
It would have to be a Trogs.
Yes. But that's the second worst Christmas song.
You don't like Santa Claus is Coming to Town when he's cracking up midway through it?
I
always like that one.
The cracking up, yes. The sound like he's crapping when he's doing... Santa Claus is... And that one's a little worse. My buddy Dean,
sounds
he hates
like
that too.
Someone's gonna pout.
You better watch out.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Okay, so the Nuggets, I feel like we could both pick them out and get 100% right. The burgers, I feel like I could do too.
Thing is, we get the Nuggets.
You don't think you could pick the burger out?
Could probably pick Burger King because
flame broiled.
At least they had the sauce to make it taste the part. Sure.
Mm-hmm. But they also, they had an In-N-Out and a Shake Shack burger on there too. So we would be at a disadvantage since we don't have those.
It's been 20 years since I've been to California.
I'll be there next month, and I already know which In-N-Out I'm going to, and I'm getting my fries animal style. Yeah. But the burgers you don't feel comfortable with. I feel like I could, although the In-N-Out. The biscuits I definitely could, because they all have a distinct taste.
What if they put the burger on a biscuit?
Hell, I'll get to that in a second. Because they do mashups too, but
which is about all your biscuit's going to be after you put a burger on it.
Well, they did a mashup. They did a Big Mac club bun and the sauce in between an In-N-Out double cheeseburger, and then they had a Jack in the Box patty melt breakfast patty melt, and they put a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit in between it. Oh yeah, they do a lot of fast food mashups.
My heart's not the only thing getting hard right now. The thought of that.
Hey-o. I've been in the mood for some chicken wings big time lately. But D.D. Pecker's is so very far away. I'm off tomorrow. I'm eating tacos tomorrow. Taco Thursday. Don't limit yourself to tacos only on Tuesday. You can have tacos any day of the week.
But tacos more cheaply.
True, but they have the $5 meals there. But I found out. They won't let you have... I got a lunch punch. You can't... When you get your free lunch, you can't use it on a promotion. So they have the $5...
Wednesday one of these days.
Yeah, so they have the $5... Even like if you get the $5 combo, you can't get your free lunch. But I didn't know. You can
still get an extra punch from that to contribute towards a more expensive lunch in the future.
Correct.
So basically, let's say 2 of those punches contribute towards a pricier lunch.
Yeah, they took it off anyway. They were like, you didn't know. We'll take it. I've spent a lot of money there. So, see.
The least they could do is have you bilk them for less money.
It always pays to be nice to people because then you get kickbacks and such, and then they take care of you when you accidentally fuck something up. It's always been my mantra.
I mean, if you really want the $2 worth of tacos or $5 worth of enchiladas instead of the $10 thingamahoozit, okay. Here's your cheaper free thing.
And they sell it's on the border, by the way. And everything's fresh there, by the way. If you didn't know that, it's a chain restaurant, but it's very fresh. They go in and they home make the salsa it tastes different every time, and it's still delicious. God, I'm really hungry. But they also have a jalapeno vinaigrette dressing, which is really thick, makes a great marinade, and they sell it for $7 a quart, and it literally makes everything better. I even had cereal one time in it.
And you people think gasoline's expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Speaking of, got premium for $2.32 the other day.
Where?
The Matthews Costco. Apparently, they ran out of regular, so they were selling premium fuel at the regular price.
My dad used to call 89 octane extra regular.
Does anything require medium? I've never seen anything calling for that. Typically, it's all 87 or at least 91. Mm-hmm. On these shores, it's all 93 octane.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, too. I was told a long time ago that there is no such thing as 89 octane. They mix premium and regular. So your 89 octane rating could be 87.5 or it could be 92.5. It just depends on who happened to have mixed it that day. So it might be 89, might be 90. There's no telling what your octane. So you either run a car like my Jeep that you could piss in and it would run, or you have to run premium gas.
It's the 2-cycle of automotive fuel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely is. Although I got gas in South Carolina one time in the Conquest.
I'm going to say they had the 5-up. So like, yeah, here's your 85, 87, 89, 91, and 93 octane. And over on this far corner are diesel and or 100 octane race fuel.
Mm-hmm. Which will make your car run really nicely, but then it'll eat your O2 sensors up. Because a buddy of mine that had the Conquest had that happen to him. Ran really good for a couple miles. So I got gas in South Carolina one time, and it was 92 octane, which is weird. But I got it, and I'll be honest, the car ran like shit. That 1 octane percent, the 1 octane number, I don't know if it was probably just bad gas. It was probably just the water in it. Probably nobody buys 92 octane. I thought it was 93, but then I'd filled up, then I looked at it, I was like, 92, really? Like, almost there, not quite there.
Yeah.
What's funny about South Carolina is you could blindfold somebody and not tell them where you're going, and then drop them off inside of any gas station in South Carolina, and they would know they were in South Carolina. There's just something about the gas stations. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Their Department of Agriculture stickers?
I don't know. I think it's just the people who are in there shopping, the people who are working there, certain products. You know, you got your handmade, homemade sausages and a live duck hanging from the ceiling. I just feel like you know when you're in there. I need a beer. Ditto.
That makes 2 of us.
Sweet. So Steve and I have re-beered. We are now drinking something that reminds me of the movie Little Giants. Do you know why? Because their last name was O'Shea. We're drinking an O'Shea's Traditional Irish Stout. Steve, tell them more about it. You bought it.
Live from their Audi. Surprise. And courtesy of them still having their St. Patrick's Day beer. This is essentially similar to a Murphy's Irish Stout or a McSorley's Irish Stout, only in a taller bottle.
I think it's better. It's dry, but it's not like Cabernet dry. It still has the flavor, so... It says rich, dark malt body with espresso coffee and light licorice aroma. I don't smell it.
That's nonsense. I don't totally hate it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Ugh. You're not a big licorice fan?
No.
So that's on your list of the 5. Your 5 things. Do you have 5 things you won't eat? I know 2, or not won't eat, but that you don't prefer.
Yeah. I'd rather have a Colombian necktie than blue cheese without hot sauce to drown it in, and licorice.
So blue cheese and licorice. Is there...
Well, if their powers combined, that'd be extra vile. Ugh.
Cheese licorice?
I wouldn't be surprised that's a thing. Probably like an anise spiked cheese would just be...
Is there a Rule 34 for food? Not sexually, just...
But Swiss cheese is better. That's got all the holes in it.
How did they get there? So you don't have
bacterium.
You're a lot. I'm not adventurous, but there's more things you'll eat that I won't. Your phone's buzzing.
Correction, it is lighting up. It should be on mute.
Everybody knows I don't like mushrooms. I don't like diced tomatoes, but I don't like avocado, but I'll eat it. Like on sushi roll, I'll eat it. I will not eat mushrooms. Diced tomatoes I will actually eat if it's inside a burrito and you can't taste it anyway.
Salsa.
Yeah, but I won't do mushrooms. I will not do hummus.
That took me a while to get the hang of, but there are a zillion different flavors out there too, so it's basically a chili powder delivery service at this point, or whatever flavorings are in with them.
As far as I'm concerned, any kind of chickpea is gross. The food or the action. I have confuzzled Steve.
That is on par with pea soup.
Makes me think of The Exorcist. Your mother sucks cock in hell. I've never seen it all the way through, though. Have you seen The Exorcist all the way through?
No. If you were to get an Isuzu, though, would you name it Pazuzu?
I would have to. Did you? I told Thomas he needs to do. I saw on the internet. It was a Forester, I believe, and it said they had extra letters, and it said Subaru Baru. Kind of messes with your eyes a little bit.
Subaru Baru, where are you?
I don't think you've met my new buddy Brian Layton. He lives quite close to here. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. Big car guy too, and. He had a...
That is land of the most terrifying stretch of 95 I've been on.
Yeah. Especially that big curve coming around Jacksonville.
The big wall, the big curve and the big walls that, like, just don't look at them or you're going to hit it.
Yeah. That was... I had a little bit of fun.
Yeah,
I was in Emily's Accord.
I'll happily take 295, like, just bridge hopping to get around it. That's way better.
Yep. And is the biggest city, square footage wise, in the United States. It just sprawls and sprawls and sprawls out. But pretty city.
Seeing as it pretty much spans from Charleston to Daytona Beach.
Yeah. And then you hit...
Inward to Gainesville.
Mm-hmm. But we were... he's from Jacksonville. And I showed him JapaneseClassicsLLC.com.
Is that the one out of South Cac?
Nope, that's Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
But they have all the ones because we have the 25-year import rule. But they have ready. They're titled. They have Virginia titles ready to go. Lots of cool, some Euro cars, but mostly Jap. But they're all right-hand drive, and they're all in really good shape. They don't import any clunkers. There's some nice-looking cars on there.
Seeing as an imported car, it's already costing you $5,000 to ship the car over. So for that, it better be pristine for the kind of money they're wanting. A buddy of mine just got a 91 Supra and has given up trying to get the electric power door locks repaired. Apparently, that's different from the U.S. domestic market ones.
Oh, this is right drive.
Yeah, it's a right-hand drive, 2.0 liter, 6-cylinder. It's gorgeous.
2 liter?
Instead of here, it was a 2.5 or a 3.
Wow.
And a 91 non-Targa.
That's the smallest 6-cylinder that I've heard of.
You've never heard
Mazda?
of the Mazda MX-3 with a 1.8?
That's right.
So that would be a 6-cylinder the size of my 4-cylinder. That's still smaller than a soda bottle.
That's right. It did have I didn't realize it was a 1.8. I thought it was a 2 also. But
that was 1.8. I actually got to drive a few of those when I valeted the Greensboro Airport. And
I bet it's fun.
A zillion years ago.
The cylinders.
It's funny that having such a tiny engine making very good V6 noises.
With the pistons the size of bottle caps.
Yeah.
We had a guy that drove one to high school. And we always called the car the Turtle because that's exactly what it looks like.
Hey, nice CRX. Nice CRX. Close enough.
There's been a couple of clean CRXs for sale on Auto Tempest lately. But as cool as it would be, I would like to have one, but I'll spend that. They're commanding a premium.
2 floating around work. A black one and a yellow one. The black one's got north of 300K on it.
But it's a Honda.
It's also not an SI, so it's not the most entertaining of them with not quite 100 horses. It's more like, I don't know, 70.
Well, it does weigh nothing.
Yeah.
They're what, 2,300 pounds max?
Yeah, that seems plausible. I think my 89 GTI weighed in about 2,300 as well.
How fun would an F20 S2000 swapped CRX be? Yes. Rear-wheel drive. That'd be just fun. Just put the engine in the back.
The CRX 2000. Engine in the back, drive wheels in the front. What?
Rear engine, front-wheel drive. That would be... I'd drive it, but it'd be horrible.
Just an awesome falafel funny.
Sure. But that's... Brian and I were talking at Pour 64 last night. It was Tony, the owner's birthday. Our favorite ginger from Seattle, and we were discussing speed and everything. He had a it wasn't an LC 500 Lex. It was the Lexus before they made that, the coupe. The LC
SC 400.
No.
The convertible was the SC 430.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Or the RC. RC.
He had the RC.
Okay.
And it had 470 horsepower, but he said I couldn't stretch the legs. I mean, I work in Pineville, and I still couldn't. He's like, it was. He said he traded it in at the Subaru dealership for a 2018 Forester. Sounds familiar to trade something in for a Subaru, doesn't it? But he did. He's trying to get another toy. He was looking at an STI with the it was an 05. They still had the cool headlights, not the bug eye, and then not the awful ones, just the kind of normal, pseudo-normal looking headlights.
The ones post bug eye that they cleaned up the look on it.
Yes, very clean. The guy never got back to him, and we were discussing. I showed him JapaneseClassicsLLC.com, and I said, I'm at the point now where we could buy big V8 power. We could buy a really fast car, but now it's like the character is more important. Like the speed, it still has to get out of its own way, but the character, like having a right drive, like something cool, like
this would be the best thing for your diet ever. Do you really want to go through your drive-thrus backwards?
Yes. Or your toll, if you live near a toll road. That would be...
the threat's real around here. Ugh.
It is. It really is. That will not fix anything at all. But it would be cool. The character is more important. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks of my cars, but it'd be cool to roll up into Cars and Coffee. More people are going to look at you in a really clean, like, right-hand drive 180SX, which over here was the 240. Although I really want...
Of course, that was also the here that had the truck motor in it.
Mm-hmm. And I believe it's the Toyota Celsior, which is the LS400. And you can get those right drive. But you can also get a 1JZ twin-turbo powered Toyota sedan right drive with a manual transmission, which I need to pull up because
it's like a proto IS.
I think so. You're kind of going to want to go halfsies on this with me. But he's like, you know what? Thanks a lot. He goes, I've been looking at cars all the time at work. Now I've got another website to look at cars at work. But no, they do all of the...
Stormed out last week before the month changed. So yeah, bored at work.
By the way,
not afford this week.
The Nissan Cedric Gran Turismo. The Nissan cannot name cars worth a damn. The Cedric. Here it is.
I entertained that thought. It looks like a Bentley.
93 Toyota JZX90 Tour V Mark II. It's got the 1JZ GTE. 41,000 miles.
This totally reads like something off of Gran Turismo.
14 grand.
String of nonsense.
And yes, it is kind of it's kind of ES 300-y. That one's an automatic, but that's cool as fuck.
Oh, it's a stillborn.
It's still cool. That would be cool to give the missus.
A right-hand drive Japanese classic.
The Toyota? The 92 Toyota Hi-Ace Super Custom.
Go on.
Yeah.
So would that be your chariot of choice to live down by the river?
Hey, everyone, I'm Matt Foley. I love... What's more entertaining is watching Dana Carvey and Christina Applegate crack up during that skit. That's even better.
They're trying their damnedest not to.
Yes. There's the Nissan Gloria. I told you they suck at naming cars over there. But that's cool as fuck. And it's turbocharged. It's click here to read more. Why, yes, I will. 15-inch wheels, you decadent capitalist pig. 3-liter VG30 DET. So it's turboed. 3-liter V6. This is cool. It's fun. It's fun to, you know what? We're going to go see full inventory because I need to see more of it. Nissan SEMA. There's a Skyline. Although I don't care until the R33. R32 is decent look because Matt Farah had an R32.
Mm-hmm. And he said that he got decent money getting rid of it when he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 33s and 34s are really nice looking.
91 Toyota Crown Royal Saloon.
Don't drink.
It's
just
not
drive.
It's not purple. That's an LS400. That's cool. Skyline GTE Type XV with an RB20 No turbo, but it's a 4-door Skyline with a manual transmission.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's neat. You may enlarge it. Enhance. Super Troopers 2 is coming soon to a oh, sorry, the video. Oh, I don't need a video.
420, y'all.
There you go. That's mad decent.
That's an R32 4-door one.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that the styling of it doesn't suffer from going 4 doors.
No, it doesn't. It kind of, the Abbey Road Nissan Homey, Homy. Nissan really can't name their JDM cars. And there we go. Here is the daddy. This is the one I kind of want. We talked about this in a previous episode. Well, there we go. A 91 Toyota Soarer JZZ30, which, for those of you playing at home, is a Lexus SC300. It has the twin-turbo to 1JZ motor, and it's I think this one's a manual. And it has an awesome interior. Very period correct. Take 2. Very period correct with the wood grain interior and the black and tan and a digital dash. Fuck yes.
Ooh.
Let's go halfsies. It's only $14,000, so you pay 10, I'll pay 4, and we'll call it even. I like this.
You're the worst former math major ever.
But that's cool.
I'll keep that in mind when I Wells Fargo 20.
Pay them in pesos.
Yeah, so yesterday was anniversary of girlfriend of 2 years. Also, 5 years since they got Big Red, thus beginning my downfall financially. Whoops.
Here's the Moto Compo that goes in the back of the Honda City Turbo, the motorcycle. They want $4,000 for that motorcycle. Moped. But it's that hard to find, so 93.
Throw an electric motor on a bicycle, split the difference.
There would be pretty much Matt Farah's car's clone. 93 Skyline GTST, 55,000 miles, 5-speed, 15.4.
Probably see some of those Saturday.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad price. I mean, you can't, because that car brand new had 290 horsepower. So you can't really buy that and that much character in your garden variety Mustang GT V8 of like 0102 vintage. R32, Toyota Mark II Tourer V, another twin turbo Toyota sedan. That's so cool. 92 Supra, tastefully modded. Another homie van. Ooh, Nissan SEMA award-winning show car. It's like,
does it run?
It's VIP'd. And for those of you who do not know what a VIP is, it's like when you put really big
Maserati.
When you put really big wheels on it and slam it to the ground and put stupid stickers and shit all over it. That's kind of what that is. Well, there's a bone stock 91 Soarer GT in white, but it's an auto tragic, so we're going to skip it. Wow. 92. Funny that they listed as a 92, but it's an FD RX-7 because I guess the 92's changed, but it's right drive.
It might be the case where they sold the FDs in Japan a year sooner than they did here.
Mm-hmm. 93 Street Attack Nissan Silvia. That's cool. Oh, yeah.
Double check. Like, that one.
Mm-hmm. 93 Supercharged Subaru Sambar. Look at that. That's cool. It's basically,
if I look at it wrong, it's going to tip over.
It's like a Japanese Volkswagen bus. And then you got the Honda Acti Street EX with a 656cc engine. But it's 4-wheel drive and it has a dual sunroof. I am clicking on this because they only want $7,500 for it. But with that small of an engine, that's going to be... I'm going to have to move to the city. I can't get away with that out here, especially on the interstate. This 1991 Honda Street Acti. I think it's called Acti because it's ACTY. That's Acti. Is the true definition of what a minivan should be. 127 inches long, 55 inches wide. That is tiny. 6 foot of usable space when you fold the seats down. 3-cylinder, 656 cc, 50 miles per gallon. Hell yes. Wow, that it's even uglier, like on the side shot. Oh, it's got the...
Just because you can maybe doesn't mean you should. That totally looks like one of those patrol vans at UNCC.
Come on, it's got the school bus style steering wheel where it's at a 70-degree angle. Where
not adjustable. So you can't tilt it, you can't telescope. It just is what it is.
Where is that going when you have a wreck right into your stomach? That's gonna feel really good.
Hey man, your sternum may kind of pierce itself.
1990 300ZX, twin turbo T-tops, right hand drive. But I was considering one of those. Mm-hmm. Did not realize how heinous they are to work on. The engine bay in particular. They have shoehorned that engine into a spot that's only rough. Like there's no room to move. To change the turbo out, you have to pull the engine. That's terrible. We can ask Clay. We can ask Clay about that. Clay, I'm pretty sure still has it. And there's another Sylvia coupe. There's a very pretty 300Z, very cleanly done, very clean. Another toy. I mean, it's an endless supply of Jap cars. I think I might go. I think I might do that on my next car. Have something with character. Maybe a Honda Beat. You know what the Honda Beat looks like, don't you?
Little bitty.
Little bitty. How's that O'Shea's treating you?
Pushing empty, but yes.
Already? You silly guy.
I only worked on that end all day. What do you want?
Well, you got to work that nap in anyway.
Yep.
Sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Well, at least...
what else do we have to drool over on Japanese imports?
I don't know. I think I would... If you're going to import a car, you better do a Japanese one, because Britain isn't exactly... Euro cars are not exactly known for their reliability, and I feel like if you brought one over...
You've also got a greater instance of tin worm over there, too. As much fun as your Rowdy Audi RS6 may be. Mm-hmm. Harsher climates, more rust.
That didn't even...
Japan seems to be a little gentler on the cars, since climate-wise, it's also easier on them.
Yeah, they don't... I don't think they get that much snow, do they?
Not unless you hit the Fuji.
I like their apples. And their water.
And their cameras.
Not their cameras. What's a camera? You missaid phone. Hell, I think DeMuro does all his videos on his iPhone. Which has a better camera, but who really gives a shit? I mean...
That's really the only differing spot in phone technology nowadays. All right, here's the new blah blah. Battery's a little better, processor a little better. The camera is now 30 megapixels. Okay.
Is it? I don't think it's going to stop though. Well, I wonder what the best possible resolution you can get before it cannot get any better. There has to be a cap.
Well, it depends on how much zoom, how thick the phone is. That there's going to be some limit there.
I was just thinking of a phone that has an old school zoom that comes out of the phone and like a good foot. And like I don't want to see the DNA working in the picture. Like as long as it's a good picture.
It's like, well, you've seen the camera I have is effectively a pocket-sized tablet with a zoom lens. Mm-hmm. But because of that, it's twice as thick as a cell phone.
Well, you have an actual camera, though, don't you?
Yeah, but it is an Android-powered, quote-unquote, smartphone. Or smart camera, rather. So it's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Android functionality, and no space on it for apps, so basically just use it to take pictures and send them to your phone so you can upload them.
You see the guys at Cars and Coffee that have the cameras, like, they're 2 feet wide, and if you zoom all the way in and look at a map, you can see people waving back at you. Like, yeah. That kind of gets on my nerves, actually. I mean, but I don't know. I hope it doesn't rain us out.
It's fun running around there with the Galaxy camera, since that's enough camera that people get out of the way if I'm trying to shoot something. But it folds and pockets just fine.
I think we ought to bring Polaroids on Saturday.
I've got a camera but not the film.
Aw.
Thanks, random yard sale.
Too bad I don't have the film and not the camera then. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Should go to Goodwill for the camera. Run you with $6.
We should just market ourselves. I think I mentioned this before.
Are we trying to do our own Radwood East Coast with this?
I was thinking like we'll market ourselves as vintage wedding photographers, and we will have we'll dress hipstery. Not a stretch for me, but dress up hipstery and say we're vintage wedding photographers and have Polaroids and charge somebody like $2,000 and pretend to be real professional. Some moron would pay that, and well, it'd be $2,000 for us. So you just say the word, man. We'll make a fake Facebook page and everything.
The word, man.
We could work that in.
The word we should have done this Sunday.
Well, once
so
you
didn't get back in town until 11.
Last night.
No, it was
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, that's a little late for me.
The Greensboro day trip.
Yes. It'll be easier to do when you're completely moved. Sundays will be mucho más gooder.
Yeah, I think I have a carload to go, but I've been wrong twice before.
Well, I definitely could have if your schedule wasn't
bonkers and a half
tomorrow. Yeah, I could have helped you. You definitely could have got it in a Jeep load. Friday probably not good for me. Saturday though, Saturday might work.
Between car show and sleep, probably not.
If there's no car show though.
Yeah.
Which, pending rain. S2000 doesn't see rain. Doesn't have windshield wipers. So, it literally, I took them off.
Just rain exit just in case.
I'm not even, if I look up and there's a cloud in the sky, I'm better stay at home. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks again for listening to us rant and rave about stupid shit. Visit us at facebook.com/CBGPod and on YouTube. The YouTube link will be in the Facebook description for now because, once again, we have to get those subscribers up to over 100. Thanks again for listening to us. If you got any suggestions you can drop to us you want to hear us talk about, if you're that bored and you have a topic, please send it to us. I've been AJ.
I've been Steve.
We're calling it a day.
This has been episode 5, recorded on 404, today not found.
Yep. I'm going to get some chicken wings. Yep. You?
I need to go pass out, and then I'll see what I can find.
All right.
It's nap time.
Yep. Later.